All right, everybody. I got 3:01 in interest of time. I'm going to go ahead and get this meeting started. Hello and welcome to the September meeting of the DuPage ROSC Council. My name is Jarrett Burden. I'm the coordinator for DuPage ROSC. In addition, I'm a recovery coach at Serenity House Counseling Services in Addison, which is the lead agency for our program. Happy as always that so many people could join us for this month's meeting. And as it is September, we are celebrating Recovery Month, and there is a lot of great programs and events to kind of fill everybody in on today. To start off, if you could just make sure your microphones are muted while other folks are talking during the meeting. Again, a reminder, we are recording too. We record all the meetings so we can put them up on our YouTube channel. All of those are up. I usually send the link out afterwards. So if you ever miss one, don't worry. We got the recordings up on the YouTube page. As some of you are already doing, if you'd like, you can put your name and info in the chat, which is working this month. I made sure. Last month we were chatless for some reason, but it is working now. So make sure you put your name and info in the chat so that way we can have a better chance to kind of contact each other and create some ways to keep collaboration going through that. Before we kind of get into what we're going to go over today, I did want to start by thanking everybody who attended our overdose awareness events, both in Glendale Heights and Serenity House last month. We had really fantastic turnouts for both nights. And to be honest, it was like, a very emotional and beautiful thing to see how many people came out to celebrate the lives of loved ones that we lost to overdose. We must have handed out a couple hundred doses of Narcan to the public, as well as got dozens of folks trained on how to use it. We also had fentanyl test strips we were able to distribute to the community at both events. So it was pretty amazing. So having said that, I did want to thank, and I'm not sure if she's here or not, but I did want to special thank Mila from the DuPage Health Department for supplying us with Narcan and coming out to do the training, as well as Steve Stefani and Hope for Healing for helping us out with the fentanyl test strips. And lastly, I don't think she's in here. Is Felicia in here yet? Dang, this was like, I was supposed to be like a nice emotional thank you to her, and she's not even in here. I did want to thank my colleague Felicia Maselli because she put in like months of planning to get those overdose awareness events going. But as well as like the entire staff of Serenity House here in Addison, like everybody was pulling together on that day to make sure this thing went off without a hitch. And I think it went really, really well. On that second day, when we were at Serenity, kind of in the middle of all the hustle and bustle, because it was pretty packed and a lot of stuff going on, I was able to kind of step back for a minute and just look out and see all the people that were here, and the emotions that were going around that night, and it was a very special moment for me to kind of see the culture and community of recovery in DuPage County that came together for an event like that. So it's those moments that really make me proud to be a part of that community, and something like DuPage ROSC. So again, thank you to everybody who made it out. On the plus side, I don't have to blow up any balloons for another year. We probably blew up 400, 500 balloons. I don't have to do it for a year. This is fantastic. But again, thank you. I'm going to pull up my screen here so we can kind of go over the agenda for the day. All right, so the meeting for today, we are up here in number 1. After this, I'm going to do a quick report from the subcommittee meetings, which we have every month, and I'll kind of explain what those are if you've not been able to attend yet. We have our friend Sonny Sorrentino, who's going to be talking about smart recovery, which I'm looking forward to. We also have, I believe Scott's in the chat. I saw him from the DuPage Health Department talking about their new Narcan vending machine, which is amazing. If you haven't had a chance to see that yet, that's a big win for us out here. So we'll be talking about that. A ton of organizational updates. Like I said, it's recovery month. So there's a bunch of events and programs that are going on. So we'll make sure we get all of those. I have got the dates for the next CCAR Recovery Coach Academy, which again, through DuPage ROSC, that is provided free to the community quarterly. So the next training is coming up in October. So I'm happy to give the dates and the information about that. And again, space is always limited on that. So if it's something today you see you might want to do, just get in touch with me and we'll take care of that for you. Couple of programs ROSC related that are coming up. Wednesday, September 21st, we're starting to do kind of a presentation series that's going to be presented separately from the monthly ROSC meeting, usually with partners or organizations that have a topic or presentation that's timely to whatever is going on in recovery, but especially recovery in DuPage County. So next Wednesday, September 21st at 10 a.m., the Rush Leadership Center, who are great partners of our ROSC, are going to be doing a presentation on the opioid crisis. So from stigma to safer use and services. That's going to be on Microsoft Teams. And I also put that in the email. So instead of Zoom, it's on Teams. Really easy to access, though. You can access it on the web. You don't have to have a separate app or anything. So I've been including this in the email. So just keep an eye on that. We would love to have everybody out for that one if they've got time on the 21st. And then also this Saturday, DuPage ROSC Recovery Picnic. This is the first and hopefully a ROSC related event every few months. We're going to try and get out there and enjoy the last bit of weather before it starts to turn cold. But we got a nice park reserved over here. It says Glen Ellen, but it's kind of Lombard. It's on St. Charles Road west of Route 53. We got the shelter out there with a grill. It's right by a lake. Or pond. It's a pond, but it's a body of water. But we're gonna have music and games. I'm gonna bring the bags out there, frisbee, and DuPage ROSC is providing a bunch of the food. So we were at Sam's Club yesterday buying a ton of burgers and hot dogs and stuff like that. So we're providing a lot of that. But if you want to come out, bring some food or a snack to share, and we can kind of look at it as a partial potluck. But this is open to the public. So if you or anybody you know is around on Saturday and wants to come out and see us, we would love to have you. And again, this has been in the emails and also on the ROSC Facebook page. So we would really love to see you. And again, let me stop the share for 1 second here. So real quick, I wanted to fill everybody in on what happened at the last ROSC subcommittee meeting. So again, the subcommittee is kind of different from this council. It's where a lot of the longer term planning and kind of big ideas get worked out for the direction of the ROSC. That is on the last Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. Those are always in person here at Serenity House. But at the most recent one, a couple of big things. So we had recently started a group text that was originally created to sort of be helpful for referrals and things like that. Because there's a lot of us that work in this field, but also people who just have lived experience. They know people who might be struggling and are trying to get them either into treatment or some version of a specialized treatment. So since a lot of us kind of already work in these organizations, we said, why don't we just start a group chat? So when we come across referrals, we're able to kind of help each other out with that. And I would say so far, it's been pretty successful as far as what we've been able to accomplish with it, getting people into treatment, finding those specialized services for them, and kind of filling in the gaps that the other folks, may not know. So we've kind of like decided to expand that a little bit. So if being a part of that group chat sounds like something you would be interested in, we'd be happy to have you. At this point in time, we're keeping it under control. It's not a whole bunch of text bombing. That was my concern. We really are using it strictly for referrals and work related stuff for the ROSC. But if you'd like to join, just put in the chat something like, yes, I'd like to join, and put your phone number, and I'd be happy to put you into that chat. But it's been incredibly helpful so far. Secondly, at that committee meeting, we talked a little bit about a stigma reduction campaign that we're hopefully going to be working on in the coming year, which I can't reveal too much about today, but that will be coming hopefully in the next year. So those were the major events talked about at that committee meeting. Again, that's open to the public. So if you'd like to come and see some of the ideas that we work on behind the scenes, that's that last Wednesday of every month here at Serenity House. So hope to see you at that one. All right, at this time, now that we got some of the housekeeping out of the way, let me do one more screen share here. One of the really important facets of the work that the ROSC does, for me anyways, is to promote multiple pathways of recovery. Okay, so what does that mean? To me, it means that there isn't a one-size-fits-all approach to recovery. So what worked for me as someone who's in longer term recovery might not work for that next person. So, as an example, personally, I use the 12-step program to recover from substance use disorder. And because that's what worked for me, when I first started getting into this work, I used to try and suggest that to everybody I came across, which I've learned ultimately can be kind of the wrong approach. 12-step, while it's been a pretty successful model, doesn't appeal to everybody. That's why it's pretty amazing that here in DuPage, we do have all kinds of options for recovery programs. So, we've got 12-step, we've got smart recovery, refuge recovery, which is the kind of Buddhist-based recovery program, celebrate recovery, and more. There's even more out here in DuPage. So smart recovery, which we're going to be talking about today here in just a minute. So it was originally founded back in 1994. For those of you who've never heard of it, stands for self-management and recovery training. And it's kind of a transformative method that relies on CBT and some other things to get people that willingness to change and kind of turn their life around into a positive life of self-regard, really. So when I first started doing outreach for DuPage ROSC, this was about a year ago. I wanted to make sure that we had smart members represented in our group. And when I was doing that and asking around, I was told that Sonny Sorrentino was like the man I had to see about that. And since then, he's been a really amazing ROSC member and really a true ally for what we're trying to build here, not only with the ROSC, but that culture of recovery in DuPage County. I'm really happy to have him here with us, which he is every month. He is here without a doubt every month, and he's at every council meeting, subcommittee meeting, and he's out here doing the work. So Sonny is here to talk to us a little bit about smart recovery. So why don't we cede the floor to him for a little bit? Sonny, you there? Hello, Sonny. Oh, this is perfect.
He's muted.
There he is. Sonny, you hear me? I think he's on mute.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're unmuted, Sonny. Oh, this is perfect. All right.
Yeah, have him leave and come back, Jared. This happens all the time. Just restart it.
All right. All right, let me kill some time here for a second. All right, while we're doing this and while I'm texting him, Scott Kaufman, you here?
I am here. Can you hear
All
me?
right. Yeah, I can. Let me pull up something. I'm going to have you talk just very briefly about the or not briefly, as long as you want, actually, about the
long enough to get Sonny in here.
Yeah, I pulled up a nice picture of it here. So Scott Kaufman is with Community Initiatives with the DuPage Health Department, and they are busy planning all kinds of stuff this week. So we're happy to have him here to talk about something that I feel like we've been missing here in DuPage County, and something we're really excited to have here.
Speak.
Sonny, hold on. I'm going to have...
Now I should be able to be heard.
Yeah, I can hear you now. We're going to have Scott talk real quick, and then we're going to throw it back to you, okay? All right. Scott, go right ahead, man.
Awesome. So thanks everybody for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to share a little bit about what we're doing. What you see on your screen is the vending machine itself. It's the product of a lot of hard work, and as you can probably imagine, a lot of kind of vouching for why we need it. But this project was a few years in the making, but the long and short of it, and honestly, the part of it that I think everybody here actually cares about, is the fact that this vending machine is totally free to use. It is located in the lobby of the community center, the Linda Kurzawa Community Center, which is located at 115 North County Farm Road here in Wheaton. It's on the county campus. If you know where the health department is, it's sort of behind and shares a parking lot with it. The community center also has, it might be known as the crisis center to you, but however you know it, it's got a main lobby in the front that this vending machine is sitting in. It is available. Again, Narcan is we try to keep it fully stocked. In fact, before I leave today, I'll be adding in another set of doses. You can take one for free of charge. All you do is, as you can see there, you'll enter the number of the kit is on, and it'll, like a normal vending machine, come on down. So that's no questions asked. If you, I'm trying to think of other stuff to kind of hit. The project itself is made possible through grant funds. through the IDHS. We're super appreciative. That grant funds both of the vending machine itself and the Narcan that we stock it with. I'll put the address in the chat once I finish up, but the address is the community center, which is located at 115 North County Farm Road in Wheaton, Illinois. It is open 8 to 8, so 8 in the morning to 8 in the evening, Monday through Friday. So at pretty much 8 to 8 during the week. If you need a free kit of Narcan, you're able to go to the community center and receive one.
And is this like the first of hopefully more that are coming in the future?
I don't want to sort of
jinx it.
Yeah. This is like I started whining about at the very beginning. There was a lot that went into getting this one. So we're just very happy that we were able to get this set up. However, we have seen a lot of usage in it so far, and we would love if we had the funds available to us to be able to provide this at a different location as well.
Yeah, excellent. Actually, while I have you here real quick,
yeah,
I did want to hit on a couple of the health department events that are coming up. Hang on one second. And I can talk about them too here, but because of the recovery month, so there's stuff coming up. The 28th, the Hope Task Force and the PLT, which is the Prevention Leadership Team, are having a half-day event. And this one is in Glendale Heights at the Marquardt Center. Stephen Hill's the speaker. He's the founder of a nonprofit called Speak Sobriety. So he himself is a person in recovery. He's the keynote, but there's also a panel discussion that morning. And this isn't a shameless self-promotion. I'll be on the panel, but a couple other people will be too. Brad Gerke, 516 Light, Felicia Maselli will be there too. So it should be cool. We're going to try and hit on a lot of, topics of what are important in recovery out here in DuPage County. So come and see it. So yeah, that's the 28th. Scott, was there any other DuPage Health Department stuff you want to hit while I got you for a second?
I don't know if it's, I think it's the PDF right before the one you're looking at, but the day before on Wednesday, the 27th, there is, Stephen Hill will also be speaking in the afternoon. That'll be from 2 to 3:30. Tuesday, the 27th at the very same community center that I mentioned earlier, at 115 North County Farm Road in Wheaton. So that's going to be an event that's more specific to hearing from Stephen and learning about his journey. And then we're fortunate to have him again at that event the following morning.
Sweet. All right. And I'll share those with everybody too in a follow-up email. I think I've sent them out at least once, but yeah, we'll make sure we hit it. A lot of great recovery events this month because of recovery month. So yeah, looking forward to hopefully seeing some folks out there. So Scott, thanks for taking a few minutes to talk to us. I'm really excited about the Narcan machine. If you've known me for the past year, I've been thinking of some way to put self-serve Narcan in the community if we can, and this is like the like safe legal way, so now that it has a machine, that's perfect. So happy to have you here, so thank you, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we're gonna try this again. Let's see. Sonny, are you there?
I'm here.
All right.
Can you hear me though?
Yeah,
oh.
I can hear you.
Oh, hey, we did
you look
it.
Great.
All right.
Oh, so Sonny is going to here to talk to us.
The hospital sometimes doesn't have that good connections outside.
That's all right. So thank you.
I know you broke up.
All right. So thank you for being here. It looks like you're breaking up a little bit, but that's fine. So we're here to have you talk to us about smart recovery. So glad to have you here. You've always been a really great ally of the ROSC,
right.
Even from the beginning. So go right ahead.
Okay, well, I appreciate it. Good afternoon, everybody. Glad to be here and glad you're all on this Zoom call as well. Just a little disclaimer right from the jump. I know when Jared was talking earlier, it was breaking up. So this program, Smart Recovery, it is not intended to be a substitute for any professional help or treatment. Again, another disclaimer I want you to be aware of, although I do work for Gateway, This is my personal thoughts and feelings and not Gateway's thoughts and feelings. I'm not speaking on their behalf. Okay, and another thing that Jared did bring up, I want to let you know that it's in sync with what smart recovery is all about. There is no single approach to recovery, and no single approach is right for everyone. Research does suggest that mutual aid and professional treatment can help anyone who is in recovery, and many people benefit from a combination of one or two. And I think Smart Recovery is a big advocate of recommending that people try more than just one or two. And their attitude is that, hey, try it. What works for you, that's the idea, that you get and stay into recovery. And just a little bit about Smart, if you do or don't know, they've been around now. This is their 28th year. People are like, I never heard of it, which I hear quite a bit. And the acronym is really important for you to have an understanding of it, because I hope maybe if I say enough stuff to you today, it could shoot some juice through your veins and you may want to become a facilitator. Smart will give you all the training you need, as well as some CEUs for the training, and they'll actually help you get a meeting started. I've been facilitating meetings going over 2 years now in Itasca, and I got to tell you, they're phenomenal. The attendees just love them, and they actually run themselves at times. The big key to Smart Recovery, which the acronym is self-management. Those are the two key words: self-management, and recovery tools. That's what they do. They're all science-based. There's the big difference right there. A lot of people will come to me and they'll say, well, I was with this program, I was with that program. And, no one ever disses any other program, because what works is, it's a wonderful thing. Some programs are purely spiritual based. Some, like Smart, are science based, and what works, works. And where Smart differs is they have a 4-point program. I'm very familiar with the steps, the 12 steps, the 12 traditions. They try to keep it simple, science-based. It's a 4-point program. Even my vernacular at times will pick up some of the A's jargon. So they have, one of their points in the program is building and maintaining motivation. 2, coping with urges. The third one is managing thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. And 4th, and most important, is living a balanced life. Now, what's really, really interesting, what I find super cool about this when it comes to self-management, all of their tools are on YouTube. So people have the opportunity to just get on their internet, get on their phone, whatever the case might be at any given time of the day, search on YouTube, Smart Recovery. Once you put an SMAR, it'll pop up. Every one of their tools are on YouTube that cover these 4 points. And it works. It helps them wherever their problems lie. It's right there. They have live meetings and they have online meetings. They are now global. They're in multiple countries, and their website, smartrecovery.org, is phenomenal. It's broken down into 3 areas. They have the participants, they have family and friends, and they have the professionals. That would be us, the helping professionals. And as far as the resources go, they're all right there. When I facilitate the meetings, how they train us, Bruce was my professor, so I'm letting the cat out of the bag. They'll teach you a certain way, and then we have a tendency to do it our way. I always like to have people put skin in the game. So I'll ask them to look at the resources, do the assignments, and then come to the meetings with questions. I'm not one to stand in front of a whiteboard and go through it like I'm dealing with elementary school students, because that's not, to me, having skin in the game. But the science-based program starts out with their hierarchy of values. What are the 3 or 4 most important things in your life? And then they'll write these down and they'll mention them, and we'll talk about them in the group. And the science based behind that, with the cognitive behavioral therapy that kicks in, is that anytime they go to get involved in their addictive behavior, they run the risk of damaging or losing those 3 or 4 or 5 most important things in their life. When I say they're addictive behavior, smart recovery does not only address alcohol use disorder or substance use disorder. They cover all addictive behavior across the board: gambling, porn, sex, eating disorders, because all of this science-based behavioral treatments fall in line with each other. That's what's really cool about it. I love the fact that there's no shaming, there's no judgment. In their meetings, you identify as, "Hi, my name is Sonny," period, the end. They don't count days. People tend to resonate with that. In the event there's a slip, a relapse, which is, as we well know, is part of the stages of change, there's no shaming. They don't say, "Well, you know, you had 7 months of sobriety, well, you're back to day one." No, you still have your 7 months of sobriety. You know, relapse is part of the stages of change. Now you're getting back right into the stage of action. You don't go back to pre-contemplation. So and then the other thing that I like about SMART personally is that we encourage crosstalk. We encourage that the group communicate with each other throughout the week. We encourage the group to attend other meetings, to find groups that they can hang out with, because, you know, I quit, now what? You know, they don't know what sober living is like. So all of this rolls into a whole new living a balanced, healthy lifestyle. SMART avoids using the labels that we talked about before: addict, alcoholic, druggie. I think all of us had talked, I know in our ROSC leadership there, the committee, you know, as far as the stigmas go, you know, we have to get rid of words as addict and alcoholic and homeless. We're replacing them with alcohol use disorder and unhoused and substance use disorder. Well, that's how we have to identify when people are in recovery. You know, they just feel better about themselves, and it just keeps them going. It's part of the motivation, part of the motivational interviewing process as well. If you keep them pumped up, who wouldn't want to feel good about themselves? Smart Recovery's tagline is the power of choice. At one given point in our lives, we made a poor choice. And with a poor choice comes a consequence. With a great choice comes a reward. And that's what this is all about. And through the science, they go through the 4 biggies that we all learn, which, Bruce, I'm sure you could relate to this: the cognitive behavioral therapy, the rational emotive behavioral therapy, and the emotional enhancement therapy. This is what is the basis and the foundation of smart recovery. And they'll teach the cognitive behavioral therapy to explain in real common sense language. It's not your drinking, it's your thinking. It's not your overeating, it's your, and they help rewire the brain. They advocate that they get involved, the members get involved with one-on-one counseling, dig down into those trapped emotions, talk it out. You can't just say, "Okay, I'm not going to drink." Oh, okay, now what? You know, it's, you know, a friend of mine's got a website, Living Sober Sucks, because nobody knows how to act. They don't know what to do. There's ways of learning how to live a new, sober, healthy life. And I believe, my personal opinion is that SMART is a great tool that people can utilize. And I think it's evidenced by the way this organization is growing and how the groups just tend to run themselves. And I asked the group last Sunday, you know, I told them I was going to be talking to a group of healthy professionals, and I would be talking about SMART, and I wanted to get their opinions on how they feel. You know, I have a couple of people in the group that are well over, 365 days. One fellow's got "I am sober" on his phone, and he talks about the money that he saved. A couple of people are alcohol, a couple of people are opiates. I have a vast array of substance use disorders and alcohol use disorders. And they just talked about the informal atmosphere and how they feel comfortable and how they feel not judged. They don't feel that they're any type of shame, and how good they feel when they leave. And it just made me feel good. And they'll give you, as a facilitator, they'll give you the bullets on how to run a meeting, which most of us have been involved in group meetings. And it's basically, they do a check-in to start with, and that's really the foundation, because why would you have an agenda and then someone checks in and there's an issue that the group as a whole could discuss? And I try to tell the group, you walk into a doctor's office, and before he could say anything, or you could say anything to him, he's got a prescription on his desk. What the heck's that all about? Let me tell you what's going on before you give me a prescription. So that's how and why this smart recoveries got somewhat of an open field. Now, if there's nothing that comes as far as the checking goes, but there's people that are having cravings, or they're just not right, so to speak, then you could go right into the tools that are available as a facilitator. And you want to really just spark it so they could come into it. So, I'll have information available after we have a little Q&A. You can contact me. I'll give you directly the regional director for SMART. And what's happening here? Jared's screen sharing. And I can't talk enough about this. And the other part of this, I run at the same time at the same location, but 2 different rooms, the family and friends. They literally run themselves now. And I just go in there at times and tell them, hey, remember, your addiction is your enabling. So I don't want to have to walk in there and hear you talking about your loved ones. You're here.
Uh-oh. Sonny, we lost your audio there, buddy. All right. Sonny, are you there? We're kind of losing your audio, my friend. I think the connection might be connection's a little rough. All right. Well. All right. Well, we may have to put the rest of that on hold until he pops back. There he was briefly. There he is. Can we hear you? Yeah, your audio is out, Sonny. I'm sorry, bud. Probably gonna have to. Are you muted still? Yeah, I think you're muted. That's why. Hold on. Let me pull you up and unmute you. Thought I could unmute from here.
He shows us unmuted right now, Jarrett.
Oh, he's unmuted. Yeah. All right, Sonny, try talking. Yeah, something's wrong with the connection, buddy. We're gonna have to end it. The connection's too bad. So yeah. But Sonny, thank you for the presentation, man. We'll put some stuff in the chat about where you can find meetings and things like that. And I appreciate it. It's always, it's good for me to learn about those different pathways to recovery too, just because of, what I do in this field. I mean, we support multiple pathways to recovery. That's the most important part. Again, there's no like one size fits all for recovery out here in DuPage County. So thank you, Sonny. Thanks for taking the time to explain a little bit about it. And what I was sharing on the screen earlier was just the way that you can find meetings for them, which is pretty easy. You can just punch in zip codes. You can see today there's just tons like in the area. So we started one recently up here at Serenity House. Felicia Maselli actually comes and does it, and there's been great reception to it. For a long time, we were pretty much like a 12-step only location. And now that we started doing smart recovery and then also refuge recovery, I think it's great to have, different options for people. And we're seeing like a lot of success with promoting those different options. So really cool to learn as much about that stuff as we can. So usually like around this time, we do kind of the organizational updates because there's a lot of us that are promoting a lot of events. So I'm going to open it up to the floor here in just a second. Is Donna Foyle here? There she is. Do you want to come up here? Yeah, you can be a co-host for a second. So Donna helps put on an event here at Serenity House. It's always a lot of fun. And I just want her to explain it very briefly. Let me pull up the screen here. All right. Yes, you have to use the mic.
Okay.
Hang on. All right.
All right, there we go. To me, this is one of the highlights of the fall. Well, we try to do it quarterly, but COVID kind of put the kibosh on that. We have a pancake breakfast. We have an alumni group here at Serenity. Currently on the list, we probably have about 220 people on our email list. And some of these people go back 12, 15 years that they've been around involved with Serenity. And so to raise money, because we're self-supporting, we have a pancake breakfast. It is such a good time. We have pancakes, scrambled eggs, sausage, bacon, milk, coffee, juice, $5, which is really a good deal. We have clients cooking. There's such an upbeat feeling. We also have raffle baskets. We have a 50-50 raffle, and then we have a speaker. So it counts as, for anyone in our programs here, as a meeting. Let's do it. But we open it to the public, to everybody, family, anybody you know, please come. We've been averaging a little over 100 people. We start serving at 8:30 in the morning. We serve till around 10, but the food's always still there. Then we have our speaker talk, and then we do our raffles, and that's it. Clean up, and everybody goes home with a full stomach and a smile on their face. So it will be a week from Saturday, the 24th, right here in our big hall. And please come. It's worth it.
Thanks, Donna. Yeah, it's always a fun event. And I think last year I was the raffle MC. So if you want to see that, I'll probably be there again. Then just really quickly, one other Serenity event while I'm just promoting a couple of things. I'm emceeing a recovery talent show coming up. This is on Sunday, September 18th at the Big Hall at Serenity House. The clients here, some of the most talented people I've ever seen. They come and show off what it is they do. We've had musicians, comedians. We've had a guy who will be here this year too, do almost like a TED talk about body language. One of the most interesting things I've ever seen. So if you're around in Addison on Sunday from 6:30 to 8:30, come on out. I can't promise I'm going to be funny. I'm going to try. It couldn't be any funnier than some of these meetings I've had here. So it should be cool. So if you want to come out and do that, we would love to see you. Hang on one second. I think that's all for ours. I want to open it up. There's a couple things at the end I'll bring up, but I just want to open it up to you. Are there any programs or events you guys have coming up that you'd like us to know about? The floor is yours. If you want to use the little digital hand raise, you can, or if you just want to jump in, that's fine too. The floor is open. Come on up.
Hi, everybody.
I'm going to give you the microphone.
Oh. Hi, I am Rebecca. Everybody pretty much knows me. I've been coming around here. Usually I'm on Zoom. I work for Naomi's House, anti-human trafficking organization. And now I also work for Magdalene House, which is a new anti-human trafficking organization. I'm a survivor leader in the area. And we're having a gala. So if you want to dress in beautiful clothes, come out, support the human trafficking survivors. We're going to do we're going to auction off the first few candles that they're going to make. They're going to be like special candles that are handmade by the survivors. I have a few flyers here. It's October 14th. If you want to, you can scan one of these into your email and send out like a mass email. I think the smallest ticket that you can get, it's going to be in Oak Park, is $150. So it's kind of pricey. But it goes, all proceeds go towards the house so that we can keep it going for the girls. It's a free house to live in, obviously. And then Wednesday nights, I have an NA meeting for women from 7 to 8 p.m. every Wednesday. And it really needs support. So if you know anybody who is in recovery and is a proclaimed addict or alcoholic and wants to come out as a woman, or pronoun is woman, we would welcome them with open arms. And then every first Wednesday, we have an open NA meeting. So like people who aren't sure if they're an addict can come, or somebody who is in school and needs to, observe for classes can come as well. So thank you.
Someone put in the chat, is that NA women's meeting hybrid, or is it all in person or all on Zoom, or how does that meeting run?
So that's all in person. And it's located at 210 West Willow Ave in downtown Wheaton. Thank you for asking, Celia.
All right, so I'm just gonna throw that in the chat.
That's all I have now.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good to see you. All right, awesome. Anybody else got something? Come on up. Man, all my in-person people are represented today. I knew I brought the second mic for a reason.
Hi, everyone. So every other Thursday here at Serenity House at 7 o'clock, we have a grief support group offered up to anyone who lost anyone to a substance use passing. We meet at 7 o'clock. The meeting goes to 8:30. It's a beautiful group, and we do support each other through the process of grief and grieving. And again, it's open to anyone who wants to join us. So please come.
Thanks, Felicia. All right. Nobody's going to say something for a second. I would like to congratulate someone who's here, because I saw it in the chat. I already congratulated him on Facebook, but Brad Gerke, who's like my hero in recovery in DuPage, he is celebrating 12 years of sobriety. Brad, can I get you to talk for like 30 seconds on your special day?
Yeah, thanks, Jared, man. Totally appreciate it. And, outside of it being, I guess today is National Sober Day. I didn't plan that when I was getting sober by any means, but that's a thing today, along with, National Recovery Month being September, which is super cool. And you know what, thinking about my 12 years today, I would not have been able to do it unless it was a community that we're seeing right here in this Zoom call right now. I didn't do anything myself. It was everybody around me that uplifted me, showed me the way. When I put my hand up for help, thank God somebody was there to reach out and show me the way of what sobriety can look like. If you would have given me a list and said, Brad, write down your 10 top things you'll think you'll get of being sober, I would have shortchanged myself so much. On that list, I probably would have put like lots of money and a big house and, great job and all that kind of stuff. And today I found that list of top 10 things, just to name 3, is the serenity, the peace of mind, and the gratitude that I have just for being alive today and being a part of my family, seeing what I can contribute to them rather than what I can take from them. Same with my friends and really just anybody that I meet. The ability to live 2 lives in one lifetime, the drinking, the drugging, the ripping, the running, the chaos and the destruction, and then being able to practice the opposite on this journey of life called sobriety, of not having overwhelming, crippling fear, but having courage, right? Not being selfish, but being selfless. And really, once again, I'll go back to how I first started, talking right here, right now. It's nothing special that I did. It's all because of the people that surrounded me with love, compassion, and care, and were able to guide me out of that pit of hell that I was in, that I couldn't get out myself. So thanks for recognizing that, Jared. It's definitely humbling to say 12 years, you know, but it's really just one day at a time. So thank you. And thank you, everybody that's making a difference out in the world today, and especially in DuPage County.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I always try to tell people, like, because I'm coming up in about a month, less than a month. I'll have 4 years, and sometimes it seems like way longer than 4 years, and sometimes it seems way shorter, kind of depending on where my head is that day. But similarly, I say that all the time. Like, if you would have told me that I would be in my spot doing the things I'm doing now, like, I would have laughed at you. Because again, the things that I'm doing now weren't in the plans. You know what I mean? I was kind of resolved to the life I was living at that point. So, you know, recovery and sobriety, there's no guaranteed happiness, but whatever comes my way these days, I know how to handle it. And you no longer feel like you're living life on hard mode, which is how I felt like I was living for a long time. So, very inspirational, Brad. I always tell you that, but yeah, looking forward to seeing you at that panel next month. So that should be cool. Anybody else have anything? Otherwise, I'm gonna share real quick about the upcoming recovery coach training, because we are back. We are back, folks. All right, so if you have not heard about the CCR Recovery Coach Academy, it's the Connecticut Community for Addiction Recovery. It is a 5-day intensive training academy to help people kind of find out about the person-centered approach, multiple pathways to recovery, all the good stuff that comes along with peer recovery. I went through it myself. A bunch of our folks who work here did. It was pretty phenomenal. I've been to a couple of different recovery coach programs. This one was my favorite, just because of the hands-on, in-depth stuff we do. There's a lot of role playing. There's a lot of engagement, and it's all in person, which is great. So we do this quarterly. Again, this is free, and I'm going to put up the dates here. I've been sending this out in a couple of emails, but I will obviously continue to send it out. So the way the training works is it's 3 consecutive weekends. So it's a Friday night, Saturday day for 3 continuous weeks. So like a Friday, you'll start Friday, October 7th from 6 to 10. Next morning, you'll come back from 10 to 4. It's usually a decent sized class. It could be anywhere between, 10 to 17 people. So there's enough of us to have really good dialogue and really good training stuff without having it, get lost in the shuffle of a really large class. So if anyone's interested in that, I'm going to put obviously my email in the chat too, if you guys don't have it, but you can reach out through me. Space is limited. These tend to fill up pretty quickly. You can email Donna, it says on here, call that number, or you can just reach out through me as well. That's a pretty easy way to do it. But again, this is completely free. The only cost of this is a $50 materials fee for the materials, which I believe you get back. So this is a way to kind of get your foot in the door if you aren't already working in this field, or even better, we have folks just who are in the community, who are persons with lived experience. They have friends, they have family members that are touched by addiction, and they kind of want to learn more about what they can do for them. So they come and take this training, and it's really, really fantastic. And I will probably be at least one of these evangelizing for ROSC, which I've done at the last 2 or 3 of them. So if anyone's interested, we would love to have you. Stop this for 1 second. All right. I still got a couple minutes left. I don't want to hold anybody hostage, but does anybody have anything, events or otherwise they would like to promote here at the end? It's a quiet group this week. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming. The next ROSC meeting is going to be, hang on, I've got the date, Wednesday, October 12th. At 3 p.m. It's always at 3 p.m. second Wednesday of the month. We actually are having a presentation on intervention, which is something that we could all definitely learn a bit from. I knew we came across that in our own work earlier this week, the ins and outs of that. We do it hybrid. You can come in person like these beautiful folks, or you could be on Zoom. We're happy to have you either way. So yeah, next Wednesday, Wednesday, October 12th is when you see it for the next one. I'm going to keep this up for a couple minutes if anybody has any questions after the meeting, but otherwise it's great to see everybody. And thank you to Sonny and also the DuPage Health Department for talking to us today. So everybody have a wonderful afternoon.